I don't know if you're allowed to say since you're a government employee, but what's your favorite season?
Oh, winter. I've written textbooks on snowstorms.
When Louis Uccellini talks about the weather, people listen. As director of the National Weather Service, you could say he forecasts for all of America's forecasters.
We could see some rain.
Most of the rain sitting to our east.
And America provides plenty of material.
This country experienced the most severe weather and the range of severe weather in the world. We experienced tornadoes, hurricanes, snowstorm blizzards. We have fire weather conditions affecting a large population base.
Tonight, America on ice.
This past February, weather was the top story on all three nightly network newscasts. No surprise, since this winter was the worst ever, right? My first question is for Eric. Has this winter really been worse than normal?
Oh, by far. I mean, not even close. There's no one alive who has seen so much snow in such a short amount of time. And Mo, the interesting thing is in December, we were thinking there wasn't even going to be a winter. We were running in shorts and T-shirts around Christmas time, and then things changed very dramatically for us.
Eric Fisher is meteorologist for WBZ Boston. Matt Brickman forecasts for WCCO Minneapolis. And Craig Setzer hails from WFOR Miami.
Hey, let's rub it in the noses of everybody's face up north, our beautiful weather, and check out the temperature.
Well, Craig, what do you have to complain about?
Nothing at all. We had 2 days in February where we had winter and temperatures struggled to get into the 60s. Outside of that, it's been 70s and 80s for highs.
Now, Matt, the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, are supposed to be cold. You know that. If you move there, you know that you're moving to the tundra. But was it worse than usual?
No, we were actually quite spoiled. January was fine. We had about a month of cold. By Minnesota standards, this has been a pretty weak winter. We've been spoiled.
Yes, Boston may have had record snowfall and near record cold this winter. But collectively, the lower 48 states are on track to have the 19th warmest winter on record. If you live in the Northeast, you would think the winter everywhere was terrible.
Well, there's that thing. There's a lot of TV stations out in New York, so if it's snowing there, it must be snowing in the rest of the country.
But just like in politics, all weather is local.
It is just coming down in sheets of snow out here in Worcester this evening.
I mean, I think if you look at the country as a whole, I mean, a lot of people didn't have much to complain about. The difference is when you have big snowstorms and you've got all these pictures of misery and you see the cold and all the big numbers that just make people cringe, you know, that makes good television.
You gotta be kidding me!
That's right, there's no good television quite like bad weather. You just can't turn away.
It's been a cold one outside today.
And it's turning into sleet.
I mean, this is some extreme weather.
Weather is the #1 reason people turn to local news in the first place. When there's bad weather, face it, they're home, they're trapped, they really watch.
And that's good news for Gail Bending. She's news director for WJZ in Baltimore.
I think weather makes good TV because it's something people care about. And it's also great pictures. And I think that weather is universal. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. People tend to gravitate to weather stories, and particularly when it's in their own backyard.
While it may be big business for TV, it's also serious business. In 2013, there were almost 450 deaths and about $13 billion in damages due to bad weather. Louis Uccellini says it's not clear if the weather itself is getting more severe. But what is clear...
We're becoming more vulnerable to these weather events, and let me explain. We have more people living along the coast now, more people living in tornado-prone areas, more people living in fire-prone areas, which provides many more challenges for those who have to deal with evacuations, infrastructure decisions, because of the number of people that they have to actually work to protect.
Over 60 inches of snowfall so far for the season now, and quite...
Which means the forecast for forecasters is continued high pressure.
And when it comes to pressure, there's nothing bigger than looking at the snow totals. People get so fixated on that exact number. If you forecast 6 to 8 and there's 9, they think it was a terrible forecast, even if the impact was the same.
People do think there is a giant button in the Weather Center that we press to make it cold. So you have to apologize. It's not our fault, but yeah, it's going to be crummy today.
This year, there's at least one prognosticator who has nothing to apologize for.
A shadow I see. 6 more weeks of winter.
Alas, he got it right.